Last week, I believe it was January 6th, in a YouTube video, I'll have the link in the description, Stefan Molyneux basically came out and said that agorism is, he came out against it. It's not a victimless crime, it's not good. Here's what he said. He said, he was talking about Eric Garner, the gentleman who was choked to death in New York City by police officers after selling loose cigarettes on the street. And he said, selling loose cigarettes, and I'm paraphrasing here, is not a victimless crime because he was taking business from the store owners. Store owners have no choice but to call the police because they can't get the law changed and they can't disobey the law. It's incorrect, Molyneux says, this is a paraphrase, to say that no one is being affected negatively by things like, selling loose cigarettes on the street or other forms of agorism, because Eric Garner was basically an agorist. And he wants someone to tell him how what he was doing, Garner was doing, in no way, shape, or form negatively impacts anyone else, particularly law-abiding store owners. And I think this is a prime example of how Stefan Molyneux manipulates language so that he can claim that he's always right. Now, I've been following Stefan for at least 6 years now, and I never really felt, honestly, that his heart was in the right place, but I thought I could count on his mind being in the right place, and that's why I've been kind of a defender of his from afar, and a certain admirer from afar of his. I didn't really trust that he had his heart in the right place, but I admired and defended him, and I've invited him to do stuff, that he's taken up, and when he had cancer, I messaged him saying, that I was really sorry to hear about that, and I hope he got better soon. But I think Stefan is going off the deep end now. With the IP thing where he filed a false DMCA claim to shut down critics of his channel, and now with this. So basically he's saying that selling loose cigarettes is not a victimless crime because it's taking business from the store owners. Taking business, yeah? Well, that's competition. That's just competition, plain and simple. If I invent a better mousetrap, well, I'm taking business, I guess, from the people who used to produce those mousetraps, or, that whoever people used to buy them from. No store owner owns his customers. You can't take customers from a business unless you're using force or fraud, And Eric Garner wasn't doing that. And he said the store owners have no choice but to call the police. So this is not true. They have every choice. And he says the store owners can't get the law changed. It's hard to get the law changed, but it's impossible. I disagree. And he says they can't disobey the law. And I disagree with that as well. Disobedience is always an option. Sure, it carries a cost. And he says it's incorrect to say that no one is being affected negatively. Well, if our standard is that no one may be affected negatively, well then that's a horrible standard, If I go down the street and I see two supermarkets and they both have the same carton of milk, same brand, same freshness, same storage procedures, I can count on, that the product is going to be good and true, but one of them has it for 10 cents less, So I chose the one for 10 cents less, because I pinched my pennies. Well, that negatively affected the other stores, so do they have a case against me, Is it okay? Should they be calling the cops, sending people to choke me or whatever? Or hurt the store owner who undercut them? That's absolutely ridiculous. Let's say that someone's trying to rob me, and I pull my gun and I shoot him. I don't shoot for the head or the heart or anything. I don't want to kill him. I just want to stop him. But I shoot him and I stop him. And I feel that I'm justified because it was acting in defense of life and property. But he was negatively affected. He got a bullet in his chest or his stomach or wherever. So, did I do something wrong there? So really, I don't know what is up with Stefan Molyneux. I've defended him publicly against the cult charges. I've also criticized him for the IP thing, the false DMCA claim against True Shibes, which, I still stand firm on that. I think a lot of people have hit him up over the defooing thing. I defooed some 26 years ago, and I'm happy with the choice. So I think he's smart to advocate for defooing, or at least to present it as an option to people who have abusive families. And there are other things that Stefan has contributed, but like I said, I never really thought that his heart was in the right place, because I think he uses language to manipulate things, as he did in this example, so that he can say, well, he's right, but he's tortured the language in the process. But I thought his mind was mostly in the right place. That's not true anymore. Just by saying people can't disobey, people can't change the laws, you're stealing business. I mean, he has attacked the foundations of free markets, free trade, individual liberty in these comments. And he thought it was funny. You can watch the clip. I'll link to it in the description. So Stefan Molyneux is officially, just, losing his marbles here. Stefan doesn't really respond to critics, so I don't expect to hear a response from him. But if he does, I'd love to hear it, and because I really like to understand what's going through your mind, Stefan. So that's it for today.